is Esi Boateng, and this is Map Focus, Maritime, Minerals, Aviation and Port Focus. And on today's program, we are here at MPS Terminal 3, the new facility, to find out the processes you need to go through as a freight forwarder or as a clearing agent to be able to access your containers here in Accra. This is Map Focus with me, Esi Boateng, in Ghana. So we are currently here at MPS Terminal 3, and on Map Focus we wish to take you through the process through which one must go through before getting into the new terminal. It's quite rather a biometric and computerized terminal, so we need you to join us as we go through the processes that one has to go through to be able to access the MPS Terminal 3. So I'm here currently with Charles Osafo. He's the transition planner, to take us through the process at MPS Terminal 3. Charles, welcome.
Thank you.
This
good
is
to
Map
have you
Focus.
here. Yeah, good to
Maritime,
have you
Minerals, Aviation and Port Focus. So that's where we focus on. That's why we are here today.
All right, welcome to Terminal 3.
Thank you. So tell us, first of all, what are the procedures for an importer or a clearing agent to be able to access Terminal 3?
Okay, so what we've done is we've registered truck drivers, their trucks, and freight forwarders into our system that hosts all the data for the truck appointment system. So when a container arrives and they've paid all their charges, all they need to go is to go on our appointment platform. You select their container, they will select the truck driver, they will select the truck, and then they will select the time period that they would like to come pick up their containers to be inspected and cleared by the customs. After they do that appointment, the gate transaction is opened. And then what happens now is they ask the driver to approach. Now, if you can send your eyes here, when the truck approaches, we give them RFID stickers that the RFID system will confirm that this truck that is approaching within this time that the freight forwarder booked the appointment.
What's the RFID?
The RFID is Radio Frequency Identification System, RFID. It's just like you have on the motorway. Some people just approach and the barrier opens.
Yes.
After they drive in from here, they are heading towards, if they are a laden container like that one, they are heading towards the export scanner to verify the contents, if it's full or empty, and then if there's anything, Ghana Customs will deal with that situation. From there, they'll head to the OCR portal, where the container number is now verified. Mind you, what has happened here so far is the truck verification and the driver verification. So it's a two-step verification here. The next is the container. Then the transaction is complete.
What if there isn't any container on the truck?
If the truck gets to the OCR and drives through, that is a verification that yes, this truck is now coming to pick a container. So the system knows that we are not expecting to see a container. If the truck isn't supposed to come for a container and it gets there and there's a container on, there will be an error message. The truck will be denied access onto the terminal. Yes.
Okay, so this is the first stage.
This is the first stage any truck goes through in accessing the terminal for an appointment for a container.
And that is the two-step verification.
This is a two-step verification.
Okay, and then from
stage.
here you move to the second.
That's
a container verification.
That's a container verification. That's if there's a container, they will scan. If there's no container, they will drive straight to the OCR portal, where the container number and the equipment type will be verified. To see that you said you were bringing a 40-foot container, the OCR will pick the equipment type code that's on the container, plus the container number, and that will be the third step verification.
So this is more like a booking, process, because you need to book before you come to the port.
Yes, you do.
And how long must you book an appointment before you will be registered into the system and then you can have access to
it? It depends on the convenience of the freight forwarder.
Okay.
If your container arrives on a Monday and you want to pick the container on Friday, you can pay all your charges and come and book an appointment to pick the container on Friday at your convenience. So you don't have trucks arriving when they do not have appointments. At the convenience when you are ready to pay your import duty and your all other handling charges and all that. So you do it at your convenience.
So there's no restriction to
There's no
as and
restriction.
when you should come and book in.
Exactly.
And
Secondly, the terminal is working 24/7.
Okay.
We've got customs, the Food and Drugs Authority, Ghana Standards Authority, we've got national security, we've got immigration, we've got all of them working on the terminal 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
and there is nothing like the booking is full, so you have to wait for some containers to leave the port before you can come in, or some trucks to leave the port.
No, previously we had an open number of slots. And just to familiarize the freight forwarders and the truck drivers and the agents and importers to this new system, we have introduced time slots that have limits, just to evenly spread the activities in the port over the 24-hour period. Because we cannot have all these state agencies, inspection companies, the authorities, Ghana Customs, all of them available for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and then have people only desiring to work only during the day.
Okay.
It makes them redundant in the night. So this new appointment system that we've introduced, just a change, is to spread out truck transactions over the 24-hour period so that we can have an even spread out. It will also lower the amount of hours that trucks wait to be served. When they all come in the afternoon,
There'll be delays.
and then in the night they don't show up at all. There'll be delays in serving each truck.
So indirectly, the computerized system tried to place them.
Exactly.
I mean, step by step till the 24 hours.
24
elapses.
hours.
Okay.
What we do is we are managing the truck transaction or the truck visits as the traffic
Okay.
across the 24-hour period.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. So would move straight to the second stage of the process. That's
Yes,
the
which is
container.
the OCR.
The
portal.
OCR. Okay. Shall we?
All right.
Right from the entrance, the two-step verification takes place, and we go to the next stage, which is the OCR, and we are here. Charles, tell us about this.
Okay, so after we've done the container and the truck verification at the port ingate, before you head towards the terminal ingate, the third step has to happen. The third step will be at this OCR portal where the container number and the equipment type, which is the size, height, and length of the container is also verified. When the trucks approach, whether they have a container or not, they still have to go through this because we need to verify the state of the truck to see whether what it's supposed to come and do is actually what it's come to do. Let me use this opportunity to show you what happens here. So you can see this is where images of the truck is being taken, where it will verify the truck registration, the state of the truck, whether it's full or empty, trying to figure out if there's a container. The container number will be verified, and then the equipment type will also be verified. If it's got a hazardous material in it, whether the placards, that is the diamonds stickers you normally find showing the class of hazardous material in the container are all present. That is in the container announcement, you need to let us know that you have maybe class 6. Okay. We are expecting to see class 6. If we don't see a class 6 sticker on the container, there will be an error. Anyway, so this is where we verify to see whether the truck is here for the purpose for which it's got to be here. There's a traffic light at the end of this lane where they stop and the system prepares the transaction to be sent into our terminal operating system so that the operator will have on his screen the job that he knows is coming his direction.
From the beginning, we went through the two-step verification, after which you would go through the OCR, and then you come straight to the MPS terminal ingates. Yes. So behind me is the MPS terminal ingate, where the actual business starts. Charles is still here, and Charles will take us through. Charles.
Okay, thank you. So after the trucks go through the two-step verification at the port gate and the third verification at the OCR portal, the transaction is prepared, verified, and at that traffic light, if you get a green, it means your transaction is legitimate.
Okay.
So you can now come in. From the port ingate through all this thing normally takes about 2 minutes or maybe less. When the verification is done, they will come to the terminal ingate where the whole transaction is prepared and sent into our terminal operating system that, yes, this truck has arrived and is coming to pick its container. At this stage, the container position in the yard and the truck number, we've put batch numbers on top of the trucks so that the operator can read. These batch numbers are tied up to the transaction. When the truck enters the terminal, when the truck gets to the terminal ingate, he stops. The boom barrier will confirm that his transaction has been verified in the 3 steps. Then the ticket, unmanned, there's no human interaction so far through all this.
It's all computerized.
It's all computerized, it's all in the system, it's all system interaction. Then the ticket will print out from the unmanned booth, just like how your ATM receipts print out. We'll give you what we call it is a routing slip, or you can call it a ticket, which will show you the position the container is in the yard, which is by bay, stack, and tier. So at that same time, the system is sending the job to the screen of the operator, who is sitting up in the cabins in all the equipment in the yard, to alert him that this truck number is coming for this container in my allocation in the yard block where I'm working, where my equipment is. So he waits for the truck to arrive, and then he just goes, picks the container, lands it on the truck, completes the delivery mode that the container has been delivered. If it's an export box, the truck comes in, he receives the container, puts it in the yard. We've got automatic updates, GPS working. So he dumps the container in the yard. Automatically the container position is updated. So within that period at the port ingate and here is about, I'll say about 2 minutes, and then the wait in the yard between the terminal ingate to the container is where we are trying to make better, about 30 minutes. The waiting in the yard. Currently we have people are now adjusting to working throughout the 24-hour period of the day. So we are hoping to let people start working at 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. because all the agencies are there, all the customs, the immigration, the food and drugs authorities, all the inspection companies are there working 24/7. So that's our next step. It's a step by step. They get used to it, then you make it better, and then they understand through deliberations. We have meetings and all that, just to make this very sensible.
The turnaround time is still very, very simple and short.
The turnaround time is not that good, but it can be good. It involves all of us.
Okay.
It involves people wanting to come at midnight to pick a container, for it to be inspected and cleared, scanned and cleared, to be inspected by Food and Drugs and all the standards authorities and the veterinary and the plant quarantine, all these agencies. If everybody is working 24/7, including the agents, containers can be picked during any time of the day, not only in the afternoon. The pressure in the afternoon is what pushes up the truck turnaround time a bit, but if we are all working 24 hours a day, all that pressure can evenly be spread out over the 24-hour period, and then the 7 days of the week, because weekends are also relatively very quiet, even though all the agencies are there and willing to work.
So from what you are saying, the clearing agents and freight forwarders are now adjusting to the 24-hour system, because it looks like everybody would want to do it during the day instead of coming in the night to pick up containers.
There are other factors which is beyond our scope. I would say some of the agents claim they are ready to work in the night, but there are certain elements of their processes that they won't find people in the night working, so they are only restricted to working during the day. But then again, let's see how it goes.
There's
this is Map Focus. We are currently here at MPS Terminal 3 and I'm currently standing on berth 18 or the quay side, and behind me are big cranes, fleet of cranes, where we say the ship-to-shore cranes, Super Post Panamax, the biggest in the world, that in terms of reach and height, it handles all vessels, and of course, the biggest vessel in the world. And we have it right here at MPS Terminal 3 and in Ghana, the Tema Port. Keep watching Map Focus. I am Esi Boateng. We are in the yard of Terminal 3 MPS, and I have with me here Operations Manager Emmanuel Ohene Ado. Sir, welcome to Map Focus.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, so we went through the process and we got to the terminal in-gates. Tell us shortly, right in front of the terminal in-gates, and then you get into the terminal itself. Short process.
Yeah. Once the trucks, as you can see from behind here, once the trucks get to the terminal in-gates, they will have to know what exactly they are supposed to do in the terminal, where they are supposed to drop their container or where they are supposed to pick containers. But for imports, they have to know where their containers are in the yard so that they can drive to the yard for them to be loaded. For exports, they also have to know where in the yard they are supposed to drop the export boxes in the terminal for them to leave. Simultaneously, once the truck gets to the terminal in-gates or gets in the terminal, the equipment are also equipped with a computerized system, and they are able to know this truck is coming for this container. So they will have to prepare and position themselves to receive the truck and also to load the truck, or either to load the truck if it's an import, or discharge the truck if it's an export box here. 100% of containers are scanned, whether you are red, yellow, green. So the green containers also go through the scan. The images are stored for post-clearance audits, but the truck is allowed to leave the terminal because it's already cleared by customs. Customs have already given the go-ahead. So we only confirm the image is good, all the information is there, and we hand over this image to the post-clearance audit team to either confirm the compliance level in terms of the green color. For the yellow, they also will have to go to, they get a ticket, they also have to go through the scan. But yellow, there are two options, or two results that come out of the yellow after the scan. Either it's normal or abnormal. If it's normal, that means you are ready to go. Then you go to it's turned as green, and you move out the terminal similar to the green. But when it's yellow and the customs after analyzing it, they see something which is not quite accurate or something that needs further examination, then they will turn it to what we call red. So it has to go to the platform where the container will be opened and some further checks will be done on the container before customs will release it for it to go out. Then the last one is what we call the red level. The red level definitely will have to be physically examined. So the ticket that you get, you still have to go to the scan. The images are captured, they are analyzed. The customs team doing the analysis will then advise areas where the focus of inspection, the physical inspection will have to be. So they analyze it, and this information is transmitted to the inspection platform, and that is where then they will, based on the scan image, it will guide them on what type of inspection they are supposed to do on the container, the inspection platform. They finish and also release for the container to also leave the terminal. So this is the process in terms of import delivery in this terminal. The containers that are, but for the export, that one is straightforward. Once you drop the container, the truck comes here. It just gives you an interchange showing that you've actually dropped the container, and then you just exit the terminal.
So we are currently here at berth 17, and I have with me the vessel supervisor, Joshua Nate. Joshua, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so tell us, this is the berth 17. What happens here?
Basically, we do Basically, what happens here is what we call the vessel operation, and when you break it down, is the discharge and load of the vessel. This is our working document, which is the load and then the discharge plan. This is what we actually look on to execute our work. The load plan, we have it in two. The first sheet, which gives us the size of the container, and either it's empty or stuffed. And then behind it, this gives us the port of destination. So by the color code we use in loading the vessel. And then when it comes to the discharge too, it's same. When you have your discharge document, the color codes there will show whether it's stuffed, empty, or 20 or 40 foot size.
Okay, so basically before the ship comes to dock here, you know that the ship is coming, you know the number of containers it's bringing. What do you do?
Yes, before the vessel arrives, the shipping line sends a document to MPS, and then our planning department, they would have to deal with the soft copy and then print out the hard copy, which we use at the quayside. So before the vessel comes, we are aware of how many containers is discharging here, as to 20s and 40s, stuff and empties. So before the arrival of the vessel, we have all these things prepared down to receive the start work.
Do you work here to 24 hours?
It's a 24 hours continuous work, but then the persons that man the area, we work 12-hour shifts. But within the 12 hours too, we run some shift system, but we have partners, you work 6 hours, some 4 hours, depending on the nature of your work.
So far, you have seen a lot, right from two-step verification through to the OCRs and then to the MPS terminal. They have the biggest crane in the world. They have the biggest facility to handle the biggest ship in the world, making shipping, making trading, making business easy for Ghanaians and the world at large. So this is what Map Focus is about. We tell you the issues, we bring the information right to your doorstep. This is Map Focus. My name is Esi Boateng. Keep watching.